should these two be given taxpayer-funded security in the first place? They are no longer working royal.
Man, Meghan looks a lot different when she thinks the cameras aren't watching.
Something about that Australia trip feels off. Not obvious at first, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Photos started spreading fast, and suddenly people weren't admiring the moment, they were questioning it. Why does Meghan Markle look so different when the spotlight isn't perfectly lined up? Why does the polished image slip just enough to make people pause?
Australian viewers of the Mark Dolan show don't want to see Harry and Meghan. The reason why it went down well in 2018, Paul, is because the Australian public didn't know Meghan Markle very well. Well, they know her now. And what do they know her to be? A gold-digging grifter.
I love it.
Then comes the moment that really got people talking. A photo with a young girl, supposed to be sweet, simple, harmless. But viewers locked onto Meghan's expression, and some are calling it a glare. It doesn't match the warm, friendly energy these appearances usually deliver. And the child? She doesn't look fully at ease either. Was it just a bad snapshot or something more?
Including this one as well. Look how up, to be fair, I don't like being at the airport either. That's a long flight. But man, does she look pissed, no?
Things get even more intense in the next images. Prince Harry tries to engage, the child seems distant, and then Meghan leans in for a hug. Sounds normal, right? But people aren't seeing it that way. Online reactions are asking the same question over and over. Did that moment feel real, or was it carefully staged for the cameras? Now here's where it gets complicated. Every frame we're seeing is just a split second in time. A single angle can twist a whole story. But when multiple clips and photos spark the same reaction, people start connecting dots. Is this just coincidence? Or is there a gap between the image presented and what's actually happening?
These two are literally living a fantasy now. There's no royal visit. They don't even have a charity. This is all just a private money-making.
And then another detail slips into the spotlight. Reports claim masks were worn at first, then removed when Meghan and Harry appeared. That small change raised big questions. Why shift precautions in a setting involving children, especially those said to be dealing with serious health conditions? Was it about comfort or about how things looked off camera? That's when comparisons start hitting hard. In other hospital visits, protective gear was clearly used. So why does this moment feel different? Why does it stand out so much?
These photos that you saw, and I was kind of shocked. A lot of images coming in about how Meghan acts when she doesn't think anybody's looking, including this one as well. Look how up, to be fair, I don't like being at the airport either. That's a long flight, but man, does she look pissed, no?
Now the conversation isn't just about one photo or one interaction. It's turning into something bigger, something layered, something people can't stop analyzing. And just when it seems like the story might settle, more clips, more reactions, and more questions keep surfacing. So what are people really seeing here, and what might still be missing? And just like that, the tone shifts again. Because now people aren't just questioning moments, they're questioning the whole vibe of the trip. Something feels off, like the interactions don't land naturally. Why does everything seem so perfectly lined up? Some voices are starting to say it straight. It all feels performative. Every step, every smile, every camera angle, is it all carefully planned for attention?
All over the internet, and I said, if that is the trip from Australia, and I don't know that it is or isn't, but it doesn't really matter what trip it is, she'd be giving somebody the stink eye.
Fair or not, once that idea takes hold, it spreads fast. And here's the thing, when people start doubting authenticity, it sticks. So is this just perception running wild, or is there something real behind it? Then comes another moment that flips the conversation again. Meghan shows up on MasterChef Australia, and instantly it's a spectacle.
Formed in concrete now. I don't think he's capable of pivoting. I think he and his wife truly see the world through the lens of victimhood. I think they love it. I think they love being martyrs. I don't understand what you think is appealing about moaning when you live in a mansion that has 14 bathrooms, worth $14 million.
The introduction is loud, energetic, full of hype as she's announced as the Duchess of Sussex. The crowd cheers, but online, totally different story. Some viewers say it didn't feel casual at all. It felt staged, almost like a spotlight moment designed to stand out. The way she walked in, the way cameras followed, the way attention locked onto her, it all felt too perfect.
Why? Because they did all this for photo ops. They don't care about anything else.
Correct.
And so they put all these kids, health in jeopardy and use them as props. They are using these sick kids as props. It infuriates me, Sue. Do you share?
Even group shots sparked debate, with some noticing she appeared slightly ahead of others. Coincidence or intentional framing? And then the question that keeps coming back. What was the real reason behind this appearance? Was it just for fun or something more strategic? Now everything circles back to one big question. What's real and what's carefully put together? Because at the center of all this noise, that's what people can't seem to agree on. Every new clip, every new photo, it doesn't settle anything. It just adds more tension. And instead of slowing down, the reactions are getting louder.
Like all narcissists, true malignant narcissists, they never admit that they're wrong. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always the rest of the world doesn't understand them. Or, it's why Meghan's constantly reintroducing herself to us and like telling us her story over and over, because she thinks that this time is the one that'll stick and we will all change our minds and come to realize how wonderful she is and that she should be the Queen of England.
Then the MasterChef Australia moment hits the internet and things explode. Not everyone's clapping this time. People immediately start asking, why this show and why now? The trip already looked packed, so how did a full TV appearance fit into the schedule? For some, the answer feels obvious. They're calling it a visibility move. And that's where eyebrows really start going up. Limited time in Australia, but somehow there's space for a reality show cameo. What was the priority here? That question keeps coming back again and again. To be fair, MasterChef Australia isn't some random platform. It's huge, respected, and loved by millions. But even that doesn't quiet the criticism. Because for some viewers, the timing just feels off. It doesn't match the tone of everything else going on.
I think somehow that Australians are a little naive, a little easy to skin as far as flogging her as ever merchandise. I think she thinks we're, hicks down under that won't see through it all and be just so honoured that she's graced us with her.
Then the online reactions hit another level. Some comments are sharp, emotional, and impossible to ignore. Well, that's it. I'm not watching anymore. Who thought this was a good idea? Another says, you just ruined the whole vibe of the show. Strong words, and they're spreading fast. But not everyone agrees with the backlash. Others push back, asking, why are people so quick to hate? It's just a guest appearance on a cooking show. So now the audience is split right down the middle. And with opinions this divided, one thing is clear. This story isn't cooling off anytime soon.
Weren't happy, or Meghan, I would say this is her rather than Harry, was never going to be happy with just being a side character, a supporting actress, if you like, to use the analogy from her previous life, to Catherine. She was always going to want to be the leading actress in the drama of the royal family. Her ambition is such that she couldn't compromise.
But what happens when even bigger moments start surfacing? And just when it seems like things might settle, the cycle starts spinning even faster. Every appearance leads to commentary. Every comment sparks reactions, and those reactions create even more noise. It's a loop that never really stops. So the real question is, are these moments controlling the narrative, or is the narrative controlling everything else?
My source, who works within the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne, has revealed that when Meghan arrived, she said, let's make this quick. And as my source told me, such a humanitarian, not. Then the acting started. Acting of her pretending to care.
Step back for a second, and it starts to look bigger than just one trip. This is how modern visibility works. The more you're seen, the more you're talked about. But that spotlight comes with pressure. Because attention doesn't just bring support, it invites heavy criticism too. And not everyone agrees on what that criticism means. Some people say it's fair to question what feels off. Others argue those questions get shut down too quickly. So where's the line? When does curiosity turn into unfair judgment?
Drack off. That's what furious Australians are going to be saying to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle after this astonishing leak has just proved that the couple have been lying about the security costs on next week's fake royal tour.
One thing is clear. These moments are keeping Meghan right at the center of attention. Every clip, every headline, every opinion just stacks on top of the last one. And instead of fading out, the conversation keeps getting louder from every direction. But now the focus shifts again, because it's no longer just about appearances. People are starting to question the bigger picture, her overall image. Some commentators are asking whether certain narratives show up too often, especially when it comes to how situations are framed. Is it consistent, or just being interpreted that way? Then past projects get pulled back into the spotlight. Some voices claim certain shows or media ventures didn't land the way people expected. And now that's being compared to major appearances like MasterChef Australia. So people are asking, why do these big opportunities keep coming?
It went down well in 2018, Paul, is because the Australian public didn't know Meghan Markle very well. Well, they know her now. And what do they know her to be? A gold-digging grifter.
There's also debate around her earlier career. Some point out she had roles that weren't massive global hits at the time. Others push back hard, saying success builds over time and doesn't need instant impact. So who's right? And then comes another layer, charity appearances. Cameras present, moments captured, stories shared. For some, that raises doubts. Is the focus on the cause or the visibility?
They're doing this trip to make money, to get attention, and I want to play another clip that's been making the rounds.
We've had MasterChef royalty in the kitchen before, but no one like this. All the way from sunny California, please welcome to MasterChef Australia, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle!
What? But others argue media attention can amplify important issues. So again, the audience splits. One side says public figures should show their work to inspire others. The other says real impact doesn't need a spotlight. That clash keeps everything alive, constantly moving, constantly growing. And just when you think every angle has been covered, another topic starts creeping in. Because now people are turning their attention to something even bigger. What's really going on behind the business moves and partnerships? And now the conversation takes another sharp turn, because it's not just about appearances anymore. It's about deals, partnerships, and what might be shifting behind the scenes. Some commentators are starting to question whether certain media collaborations are slowing down or quietly changing direction. Nothing fully confirmed, but even the hint of it is enough to set everything off again.
Like these pictures of her sitting with these small groups of women and people as if she deserves to be sat there. And I'm going to keep it honest. She has done nothing to deserve sitting there. She married a prince.
So what's really happening here? Is this a setback or a strategic reset? Some believe it's a transition, a move to explore new ways of staying visible and relevant in a space that never stops moving. One thing hasn't changed, though: the attention. If anything, it's louder than ever. What started as a few photos has turned into a full-scale debate that just keeps growing. Every clip, every detail, every moment gets pulled apart from every angle. And now the divide is crystal clear. Some see real issues, others see overreaction.
As a cash machine, this is just a cash grab. They want to bring whatever it is that they bring. And look at it, they are no longer royal adjacent. They are not qualified psychologists.
But with all eyes still locked in, where does this story go next? And here's the part nobody can ignore. This isn't just about one moment anymore. It's about a pattern people think they're seeing. The way interactions unfold, the timing of appearances, the cameras always being there, it's all getting noticed. For some, it feels carefully managed for attention. For others, it's just what comes with living in the spotlight. So which is it? What's changed is the audience. People aren't sitting back quietly anymore. They're watching, reacting, and speaking up instantly. And when something feels off, those reactions spread fast. That's exactly what's happening here. One clip turns into 10 opinions, and suddenly the conversation is everywhere. But here's the twist. Are people seeing the full picture? Because a single photo or short clip can't tell the whole story. Context matters, angles matter, timing matters. Still, that hasn't slowed anything down. It's actually making things louder. And let's be honest, this level of attention doesn't happen by accident. Whether it's praise or criticism, staying in the spotlight means every move gets watched closely. Right now, that spotlight is intense, and it's not fading anytime soon. So now it comes down to you. What do you really think is going on here? Do these moments feel genuine, or do they come off staged?